on North Central Time, and I'll tell you what, this is a real competition this year. There's some quality football being played. There's probably 4 absolute gun sides in this comp, and then who knows what happens after that. We have got the man that is, he's the captain, and when you're the captain of the Birchip Watcham side and you are trying to get a premiership and you've had a couple of times where you haven't got the premiership, you come on the radio and you face the music every week, and he does so. Dale Hinkley joins me. G'day, Dale. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks, Wayne. Had a bitterly cold morning this morning. It was quite foggy up here in the Southern Mallee, and we're out here and we're ticking along all right. We had a good 4-quarter win last week, so we're up and about and ready for round 5.
Well, I'll tell you what, a good win last week. It was an absolute beauty. I know St Arnaud probably aren't the opposition of the other 3 clubs in that top 4 that you're contesting with, but right from start to finish, 9 goals in the first quarter. Were you playing down back? I know you're not in the best players there, but you probably didn't get to see the ball there, Dale.
No, didn't at all too much, Wayne. But we did in the second quarter. They came back a bit there, which was to their credit. At their home ground, they were always going to come at some stage, and they did. But across that was their focus to really put a 4-quarter performance in, and we finished off the second half quite well. And as we spoke about last week, Will Sheehan had a really good game up forward, and he didn't quite get the 10 goals. He kicked 9, but he was really good, outstanding.
Outstanding. And the Castellano watch 5, I reckon we should have the Will Sheehan watch that we incorporate over at Chum Lake. They'd be celebrating the Sheehans out that way.
Yeah, they are. They're going along pretty nicely. It's a pretty strong name out there at Narraport and Demosa. So, really happy to have Will developing like he is.
Oh, he's certainly a good player. And Lockie Surrett, the big man, lumbering about, did some good work in the ruck. Mitch Egan tried hard, and Hicks with a couple for the vanquished. It was Donald who vanquished Charlton in magnificent fashion. I tell you what, the score sheet was pretty similar to yours. It was 25-19 to Charlton, 3-2 at Donald. The Royal Blues have recruited well, and like your game, a big first quarter, 6 goals, 9, if you don't mind, to run away with this game very early.
Yeah, it was the battle of the Blues down there at Donald Park, and it looked like that it was a pretty good 4-quarter performance from Donald. However, I do know that Charlton had a real good crack at them throughout the day, and their experienced players will hold their head high. Going back this week, they'll bounce back, and Donald seemed to be ticking along pretty well. Riley Barrett, former Werribee footballer, seems to be slotting in quite nicely, as well as Lee Burke had a couple of weeks break and kicked 7 goals up forward. And likely the notable better players for Charlton were Thomas Finlay and Anthony Judd and Aaron Walclate.
Yeah, I tell you what, the names though. I mean, Ross Young doesn't have to do it every week. They've just got so many good players. Like you mentioned, Barrack, and I know you said a few weeks ago when they had actually nailed his signature that he was going to be a really good player. Potter booted 5 and Blake Grant booted 4. Brody Hadover and Ryan Hards both a couple of goals. It was 2 to Riley Thies, and amongst it Tom Finlay, Anthony Judd, the man who was the former CEO of the Bull Oak, and Aaron Walklake as a veteran and a star of the competition. Sea Lake Nandali 14-12 to Wedderburn 6-8. They're going to be, again, I reckon, they're going to be hard. I know you have taken them the last couple of times, but gee, they were good to beat Wedderburn, and they did it on the bit in the end, 14-12 to 6-8.
Yeah, they did. Wedderburn will be a little bit disappointed. However, they did come back in that second half there, Wayne. Sea Lake started off well on their home ground and really set them up through Billy McGuinness and Austin Mertz kicking a few goals down forward with their potent attack. However, as mentioned, Wedderburn came back in that second half, winning the scoreline 5-4. So that they'll take confidence out of that, and going forward, where they'll be pretty keen to bounce back this week.
Bryce Domenico in the action with Trent Donnan. It's hard to stop them when big Rhino Sullivan gives you the ball down, and Mertz, as you mentioned, and Ellis also adding 3 to big Billy. Benane, Campbell and Adair Rouge amongst goal scorers, and a very good performance from Corey Lowry in the end for the red and black. Finally, in footy, it was a massive game. Witcher-proof Narraport, another win under the belt for them, and they kicked 9-7 to Bort 5-5.
Yes, they did over there at Bort Park, Wayne. They would have been pretty keen to get a win, and now they've got fifth spot, so they'll be pretty happy. And it was a very contested game over there. It was under light, and from all reports, it was a nice spectacle. Saw a few photos throughout the week, so it was always nice to see that around country footy, playing a night match. But yeah, I think that throughout the course of the game, they kicked away and ended up victorious. And Justin Beaton and Jed Hommelhoff seem to be playing quite well for the Demons, and I'm pretty keen to have a look at them in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, I reckon Cody Green too. His 5 was sensational forward, and Davis and Potter, good players. Tom Potter is a really good player, and Kieran Wilson, the veteran, is a ageing star in their backline, and plenty of action coming his way week in, week out for Bort these days. Over to the matches this week, and it's Witcher-Proof playing Donald at Witcher-Proof. I'll tell you what, they'll have to start early, I reckon, the D's to get home this time around. Donald in scintillating form.
Yeah, Coach Brown, he'll be quite happy where they're sitting after four games out of 16. So we're a quarter of the way through the season, and yeah, they look to have a pretty full strength side named again this week. So I think it'll be a pretty tough ask for Witcher-Proof. However, they're going to make the finals this year. I think that they're going to have to win one of these games of the top 4, and if they're going to do that, I think their defence will have to stand up really strong tomorrow, and the likes and experienced player of Trevor Rumbold will have to gather his back 6, and hopefully they can take a few intercept marks and rebound the footy and keep it in their forward half to give themselves a chance at winning it.
Yeah, it's going to be a big ask, and when you sort of look at just the strength of the Donald side right now, I mean their reserves have got some players in there like Ryan Bath's playing the reserves. Cooper Anderson's down there. They've got Funkies down there too. They've had like Gavin Beckham. There's a lot of good players that they've got in there too. So they're going to be hard to toss right through the season. In other matches, Birchip Watchem play Charlton. This is over at the new facilities. I'll tell you what, I reckon the showers there are the equal of any competition anywhere in the world. So you Birchip Watchem blokes, it's going to be a cold afternoon. You might be pretty happy when you get a win and then head for the showers.
Yeah, definitely. That's winter's starting to settle in there, Wayne, and we're heading over to Charlton, so I'll be looking to bounce back, and we're looking to put together a 4-quarter performance. We weren't quite able to do that last week, just letting the second quarter slip. But however, Will Sheehan's in good form. Castellano, as you mentioned, and we've still got the trio of Hogan brothers and Riley Hogan back from his injury. We're just looking forward to it. And I might mention that Lockie Ryan's out with a cork thigh, and James Lindeback comes back into the side, which he's been a really solid in defence for us the last few seasons coming from Ballarat, and we're looking to have a cracking game.
You'll have a cracking game, there's no doubt about that. Will Sheehan, he might hit 10 goals at some point through this season with his skill set up there forward. Sea Lake and Andalia got some skill set. They take on St Arnaud up at Sea Lake, and this will be another big win. I think Billy they're sharing him around actually. So McGuinness is not having to kick the big 8, 9, 10. He's sort of getting the 4, 5, 6s, but I think they'll still share him around and kick a big score.
Yeah, definitely. Billy McGuinness is the quarter of the way through the season, and he's leading the way. Clearly in front by 10 goals, I think, in the goal kicking. So, yeah, he started really well. So he'll be a focal point again tomorrow for St Arnaud. It's going to be a tough ask for them to travel up there. I think it's the longest strip in the league. So they'll be looking to get up there and hopefully just peg a few goals each quarter and keep their young side keen and developing and going forward. In the season, so obviously Mertz and Wade Donnan's back in after a month out from his suspension from striking Lockie Surrett back in round 1. So they look pretty strong across the board, and Coach Donnan will be pretty keen to have a big win again and boost their percentage.
Yeah, I tell you what, their side, I mean, just go through it, and it's just full of such good players. I mean, in the middle, Bryce Delmenico is a really good footballer, and Trent Donnan just dominates around the packs. And then you look at some of the other key players up forward too that they can bring in. Austin Mertz has had a good start to the season too. It is going to be a tough ask, that's for sure, for the opposing St Arnaud side. Wedderburn take on Bort. This one, a little bit of traditional rivalry in this. Of course, red and black taking on black and white, and this has got plenty on the line for it. Wedderburn need a win. They don't want to drop a match to any of the clubs below them, because that could be where Witcher-Proof could strike for 4th position.
Definitely, Wayne. I think the Redbacks will lick their wounds, and obviously the clash between the two eastern sides in the comp down there at Donaldson Park. I think this one will be closer than what most spectators will be heading in the ground. They'll be pretty keen to also bounce back Bort. So I'm really looking at the forwards. Obviously, the experience in Ben DeRouge and Danny Benain. They've been kicking a few goals. Tom Campbell hasn't quite hit the scoreboard as much as he has in the previous season. So if they get their hands on the ball, it'll set them up pretty well going forward.
Roslyn Green in the middle against Moss. That'll be good, worth watching. The big ruckman in Postel for his side will be looking for Wedderburn to get first use, but big Muscatello for the Bortsiders. The big fella should be able to get his hand on the ball from time to time, but I just feel Wedderburn a bit more class and maybe more goal scoring options, I think, is the difference between these two sides at the end. Now, I know that you're out in one of the paddocks. A bit of pre-emergent spraying going on out there at the moment, Dale?
Yeah, there is a fair concoction, so got to concentrate and make sure you put them in the right order and keeping the seated drivers happy, putting it out in front, and there's no dust, so it's always a good start in the Southern Valley.
Yeah, no dust and beautiful conditions, and a bit of moisture about too. Cold mornings, a cold afternoon probably for many rugging up at the football this weekend as the winter weather hits for the first time. And Dale Hinkley, the captain of the Birchip Watcham Bulls, good to have you on board today.